I'm going to show you how to use headers. Let's get started.
Hi everyone, I'm Watrous from VVork. If this is your first time here and you want to learn about automating, programming, and monitoring in VMware environments, you're in the right place. Start now by subscribing and click the bell so that you don't miss a thing.
This video is part number 7 in a 10-part video series in which we're discussing how to make REST API calls. In this video, we're going to talk specifically about how to use headers. In the previous video, we talked about how to use variables. One of the places to use variables is in headers, and that's the subject of this video. The screenshot that you see here is a snippet from the fine folks at mozilla.org, the folks that bring you Firefox. This is a screenshot of their page where they describe what HTTPR headers are. This is just a small snippet. If you read through that entire document, you'll learn lots more about HTTP headers. For our purposes here, I want you to be aware that you can go looking deeper and deeper, but for our purposes, here's some key things that you need to know about headers. So when we talk about headers in the world of REST, we're actually talking about HTTP headers. So these headers are defined by the same RFCs that you know and love from the world of HTTP. Another thing to note about these things called headers is that the names of the HTTP headers are case insensitive. And if you are specifying headers on a command line using something such as the curl utility, you'll say header name colon some value. White space is ignored before the value and blah, 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 blah. Again, please feel free to dig down deeper than we're going to go in this video if you want to know all about how to use headers. But let's take a look at headers from the perspective of making REST calls from within Postman. Now, as you can see here, we're looking at the user interface for Postman. Looks like, once again, we're defining a REST request that's going to get us one joke. And when we set up a request such as this, as you already know, we're going to specify a method, we're going to specify a URL, we might pass in a body. In this case, we wouldn't. We might want some scripts, test scripts, might want to do authorization and so forth, but there's this tab here labeled headers. These are request headers. Request headers enable the client to send additional information to the server. Now, we already know several different ways clients can send data. Clients can send data that's encoded as a query string in the URL. We also know that clients can send in lots of data via the request body, but clients can also send in data via the request headers. In an earlier video, I pointed out the content type header and the accept header. The content type header enables the client to tell the server what format data the client is sending in the request body. In the request header called accept, that's where the client specifies what data format the client wants the server to send data to the client. Now, you can set client-type and accept to lots of different choices, such as the ones that you see here, but you need to make certain as the client that the values that you're picking for these two make sense for the particular REST server that you're working with. For example, there are some REST servers that are not going to know what you mean if you say content type is application/JSON. If the REST server doesn't understand JSON, then there's no point in saying content type application/JSON because you're just going to get an error. So make certain you read through the documentation for the REST API that you're working with to make certain that the values that you send for these headers and other headers make sense for that REST server. In this screenshot, we're once again looking at a REST request. Once again, we're looking at the headers tab. The reason why I'm taking you back to show you this again is that when you go to that headers tab for the request headers, up above all of the headers, there is a button, looks like a tab, but I guess it's a button that allows you to either hide or unhide the headers that Postman is setting. Now, content-type is a header that I set. I cannot see the 7 headers that Postman set. For example, Postman might very well have set the authorization header, and Postman quite possibly has set the accept header. And in this case, it looks like it's set a total of 7 headers that I can't see, at least not by default. But all it takes to see the stuff that's hidden, to see the hidden headers, is just click here and it will show you all of the headers. So far in this video, I've been talking about request headers, but the server can set headers when it responds. So there are request headers, which we've been talking about. Now we're going to talk about response headers. When you get a response from a REST server, down here in the response section, there's a tab labeled headers. So this is the request headers. This is the response headers. This is the request and its headers. This is the response and its headers. So in the request headers, the client is passing information to the server to let it know various data or configuration settings. On the other hand, the response headers are pieces of information that the REST server is sending back to the client. Now, the exact headers that you can send in the request and the exact headers that you can receive in the response are completely dependent upon the particular REST server that you're using. There are some standard headers, both request headers and response headers, but in order to understand all the headers that your REST server lets you send or will send to you, you need to consult your REST server API's documentation. All right, let's talk about one more quick thing to finish up this video. In the prior portion of this video, I have been talking about Postman, but now let's take a look at curl. With the curl utility, we already know that you can say things like, curl, I want to do a get method, and here's the URL that indicates what operation I want executed. The -h option allows you to specify the headers for the client. Again, this is the request header that we're setting here. We're setting the accept header to the value application/XML. Now in this particular example here, we're just setting a single header, but you can set multiple request headers when using the curl command. You just need to use the -H option. Please join me in the next video where we're going to be talking about authentication.